Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Dream Stream. I am your host, Yiskah Koock, here with two very special dream sisters, Ellen Ronis and Dr. Carla Mazzeo. So glad that the two of you could join us. We are waiting also to see if our teacher, Dr. Stephen Larson, joins us, which would be very special. And so we'll see if that happens. So welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
How has dreaming been? How's your dream lives been?
Pretty intense.
Again, I didn't hear.
Oh, I said pretty intense.
Pretty intense.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's fodder for the unpacking. And you, Ellen, how's your dreaming been?
I had a really interesting snippet last night that was very disturbing, and a couple of snippets is what I've been having because since I've moved into this new place, I am not sleeping well.
Right.
Which is really interesting to me. I just think there's something energetic in this.
Do you think it's directional where your head is?
Maybe, and there's very little options as to where to put things because of it's just a very small space and there are windows and etc. Things. So I don't. It could be that feng shui kind of thing. And I just don't know. I just know I have not been sleeping well. So the less well I sleep, the less I dream. I think, the less I remember.
Yeah.
So that's the story with me.
That's unfortunate, but I go through dreaming snafus like that, Yeah. Right now, I have been dreaming, but I feel like when I look past at my more important dreams, I feel like we've already discussed them. I'm good. I just would open the floor to the two of you. Okay. So who would like to share a dream?
Ellen, you mentioned you had a disturbing dream. Do you want to?
Yeah, very short little thing too.
If I may just say one thing, Carla, your volume was quite low, so maybe, I don't know, you're outside. Okay, sorry, Ellen.
No, that's fine.
Is this better?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's better.
How's that?
Perfect.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say the one last night first that was disturbing, and then there were two others also snippets. But let's just look at this one. Yes. I'm in the water, like it feels like the ocean. I'm in what feels like the ocean, kind of turbulent ocean, and I'm with two other people, and I think they're women. I'm not sure what their gender are actually, but it seems like two feminine essences next to me in the water. Each one of us has something to sort of help us cross, and I don't know where we're going. Feels like we're going from, I don't know from where, but it feels like we're going towards maybe like a cabin or something, like a vacation-y kind of simple cabin, maybe. I kind of have a sense that that's what's on the other side, but we're swimming across the ocean, vast and turbulent. And one person has, they each have things, we each have things to help us. So one person has like a boogie board, kind of a float. One person has what I think is a kind of a blow up boat or something, but they're not sitting in it. They're kind of holding on to it because it's deflated. And I have a shovel, like a metal shovel with a wooden handle. And I'm like, this is not floating. This is not helping me. And it was awful. It was just an awful feeling. I just, and that was the whole image. It was just like, oh my God. It was like, I was sort of panicking and sad. I just felt really sad somehow.
It's heavy, it feels heavy.
It was so heavy. And I've been feeling like that too.
Wet clothes, everything about it.
Yeah.
So you felt heavy when you woke up. I mean, that's my word.
Yeah, I felt really sad.
sad.
I felt really sad. Yeah. And, yeah. I mean, this, yeah. I think I got also, I just maybe this is like part of the reality check of a question that you might ask, but I'll just say that I think I got really slimed by a client the night before.
Okay.
Really totally I could say a lot about that, but I won't. I mean, I could. It's kind of interesting, but he's got this kind of personality that is like what in core energetics we would call masochistic. So he's like very, very nice and very soft spoken and very pleasant.
God,
But he's
huge,
and I'm a massage therapist.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just
Yes, I was wondering. Okay. So you were working on his body.
Yes, so I'm working on him, and it was like working on a car door. It was like his entire, there wasn't one single ounce of part of his body that I could make actual contact with. Yeah. And I was like, I just could not get in anywhere. And I could feel his rage, and I could feel his sadness, and I could feel all his wounded. And I don't usually do that. I mean, I've been doing this 37 years. I've learned to not take on people's stuff, but wow, this was just like, so it's interesting that I'm talking more about that than about the dream, but I somehow think it's maybe connected. It's maybe connected somehow. I don't know. Yeah, that was whew, because I'm even feeling it now. Like I feel like I need to like sage or clean my energy sphere.
Yeah, please do that.
Because that kind of personality, that character in the sort of neo-Reichian world.
Yes.
It's what they need you to like pound on them in order to get a response and a reaction. So that's usually on an emotional level. They need to let you somehow so that you get really angry at them so that they can get angry back and have like, oh, here's my feeling, here's my emotion, right? So I know this is a lot. This isn't, in the dream world, but the waking world is like a dream anyway. So
and that's showing once again that as the Talmud says, nothing befalls an individual that hasn't already happened in a dream. But did the dream come before that, or did the slide?
No, it was right after. Like I saw him yesterday, late after, early evening, and then had the dream last night, and it was a very tumultuous, tossing and turning kind of night. And I had it like very early in the morning when I finally fell asleep, and then woke up with that dream. So I don't know whether they're connected, but that's
what comes to mind. Is he someone that you work with often?
No, he was it was a place I have my own private clientele, so most of my clients are pretty regular, but this was at a place that I sub once in a while.
So it was like a walk-in
person, and he was like, oh, he just moved. He's like, I like your work. I'll see you again. I was like, oh no.
I won't answer the phone.
I will absolutely never see this person again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it feels to me that it was right, this presence that was consuming and kind of drowning in this this energy, and I'm seeing the shovel as that's the tool I have to get through, but it's not effective in this situation.
Right. It's like the wrong tool. That's so interesting. Yeah. That's a good way to connect those two things. Like the wrong tool for the job. Yeah. And it was,
and that it's like this wave, a wave to tread.
If this were my dream, and I'll state some obvious things for anyone who might be interested. Dreaming about water is often about my emotions, if I dream about water, or it could be the unconscious, the depths, and dreaming about a shovel, for sure, it's the depths. So I'm thinking it's weighing me down, but what do I need to dig up from myself that's being called upon by this person or the situation, this dream? So someone has a deflated rubber boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other person has
like
boogie board.
a boogie board, which sort of makes sense, helps them sort of,
Yeah, that's a
swim.
good thing to have.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny. There's three females here.
Oh
Ah,
yeah, that is interesting.
I call the boogie one.
I did buy I was gonna go swimming today, but I had some meetings instead, and I did buy one of those. I bought fins and a little kickboard.
Oh,
Kickboard. Yeah,
Got
that's
to use for the first time.
that's boogie board.
that's so great. I'm so jealous that you guys have places to swim. Oh, I live in the desert.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we do. You have to travel, and there, it's everything has been so low. The water has been low everywhere. Wherever there is to swim.
Water's even low here.
Really?
That's this way in the summer.
The lake is always seems to be a great space. Lake Minnewaska.
Minnewaska's so awesome.
It is. It really is. So, but what a scene, right? What a scene where the feminine, you mentioned like a feminine energy is all in this situation together of this other energy that you may have associated with a kind of a masculine, or I don't know if it would be masculine, but this other energy that doesn't allow that receptivity or openness.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
would the shovel have been the wrong tool? Maybe because he just needed me to go deeper into him to get to anything real. Would the shovel have been because earlier you said it's the wrong tool.
Well, I was thinking it's the wrong tool in the environment that I'm in right now, which is this turbulent water that we have to swim across, and it's certainly the wrong tool to help. But if we look at like what's, is there anything ever really wrong in a dream? Like, I could use a paddle or something.
Say that one more time, Ellen.
It could be used as a paddle.
Oh yes, get together with the woman with
the boat.
The boat. Yeah. Well, and it is interesting. Like, why is the boat deflated? And it was like broken. It wasn't that she just didn't deflate it. But the shovel thing definitely feels like digging in the earth, digging in the dirt, digging in the muck. Like, what do I need to dig into a little more? And it could have been like a shovel is what this guy actually needed. He needed like chisel and hammer, and that is not me. So I'm the wrong tool for him.
Yes.
If we're looking at the connection of that and the dream, but let's say, like, put that aside for a moment and just like on a sort of a deeper, more like what's happening in my life world, digging in a little deeper is definitely feeling, and into the emotional world, because I also feel that water, it feels like the emotional world. Like, it depends on what kind of body of water. And here I am in this like vast expanse of ocean, and it's turbulent. So that's just it's not a like placid lake kind of thing. And so something's tumultuous in the emotional world, which feels true.
That's about right.
About right for most of us these days.
Definitely.
If you're not emotionally turbulent, you're not paying attention.
Sorry, what'd you say?
You're not paying attention.
Oh, okay, I said that too. Sorry.
What did you say?
I said that as well. You're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Said exactly.
And that this is, you said, your new space, right? So that your home is not feeling your space yet.
Yes. And I was actually, every time I would sort of wake up last night in my tossing and turning moments, I'd be like, oh, I'm just not comfortable here. I just, my bed is the same bed I had before. So it's not the bed, it's just like, I'm not comfortable.
You said you recently moved?
I did. I moved just 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. That's very recent. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, yeah, there's this discomfort. And I keep, yeah, anyway, I won't go into that whole thing, but
So you're trying to adapt to a situation that is not comfortable.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that does feel like, yeah.
Mm,
Yep.
mm,
And like maybe, you know, as a way forward with the dream, like to just kind of look at, you know, how can I use this tool, or can I transmutate this tool into something that is useful, you know, in the circumstance, or is there a way that I can connect up with these other people and make something,
yes.
one thing where we all
That's
can,
Right. I was going to say, yes, that seems to be that if everyone work together, right? So you all have to go on that float. The only thing that's working right now in the water is that little boogie board.
yeah,
And then maybe to fix the boat, and then use the shovel to
yeah,
know,
as the oar
we
yeah,
all three
totally.
had the same idea that we all needed to come together
together.
with
Mhm,
those three tools
mhm.
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
make it work.
Yes.
Maybe put the boogie board like under the raft,
Mhm.
and the raft is just
We all hold on.
enough,
Yeah.
just big enough that we can all hold on or get in it, and we can use the shovel as the oar.
Mhm.
you know, I like it on so many levels, you know,
Mm.
like just the community aspect of it, you know,
Mhm.
they're like coming together. I mean, I think that that's also what's on my mind and my heart a lot, is that I don't feel like I have that. When I was in the Hudson Valley, I had that much more, you know, a sense of family, community, people that I knew, you know, for a long time. And I have friends here and there's good people, but it's just not the same thing. And I feel very sort of, you know, when I'm feeling really centered in myself, it's okay. But when I'm a
Mm.
little off, I'm just like, oh my God, where's my family? Who's
Mhm.
gonna like be there to catch me in this, you know, moment of insecurity? And so I like that imagery of like us all coming together and let's do this together. And I really think that's what we need to do in our life, in the world now too, is like take care of ourselves and then take care of those right next to us. Because there's not a lot we can do about a lot of other things.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. Yes.
So awesome.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
I so appreciate all those that feedback and imagery and connections.
And I'm thinking another step further, the three aspects working together. So everyone with their tool, or and can it relate to this other energy? You know, can it break through or transform, or what? I wonder what would it calm the water?
Mm, mm, mm. Good
That's
question.
interesting. Yeah, we
Yeah.
should take this imagination further. You know,
Mhm.
we talked about how we're gonna get three people to the other side of the tumultuous water. We should,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
then what, you know.
Come together, share our resources.
So you mentioned, sorry to interrupt, that this person, I'm fascinated by the energy. This person wanted to feel pain.
mm. He doesn't know. He
It's
doesn't
not
know.
conscious.
No. It's
So-
like, yeah. Do you know anything about core energetics or like the Reichian kind of body work type of thing, the different character structures?
oh no, tell me.
Well, that's when I say that that way of looking at the body, mind,
Yeah.
spirit,
Mhm.
they talk about that as a masochistic type. So it's like a physical type.
Mhm.
And there's like 5 different types. I won't, you know,
Sure.
I don't know if I need to go into all of them right now, but that's one of them. And it depends on when your wounding happened in your development, you know, whether it was in utero or whether it was when you were 2 years old or you were abandoned by older siblings or whatever, you know, where the deepest wounding in you happened in your development, is how they determine that. But it also really goes with a physical character, like the way you hold your
It's
energy.
like a shield.
Yeah.
But so you were describing that he sub or unconsciously, he wanted to feel the pain in order to have a reaction?
Yeah, so it's like they can't, I'm saying they because I don't, it's not just him. This is that particular type.
Mhm.
It's like they can't get to their deepest, like the wounding is very deep. The hurt, the feelings, whatever it is, it's usually rage. There's a lot I felt so angry after I worked with him.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, this is not mine.
Mhm.
So they just can't. And so it's usually anger, rage. And underneath that, of course, is usually sadness, and grief. But they can't feel it. They just don't even know it's there. And they act really nice and pleasant,
It's a passive, so they act
very
externally
very
passive.
sweet, very kind, very nice. And so you're like, why am this person so nice? Like, why do I want to just love them right now? And it's kind of this, and it's sort of a very, very deeply unconscious thing where they're not telling you the whole truth of what's going on. And so there's like it's almost like a manipulation.
It's that facade.
They make you feel angry, and then you kind of and you kind of poke at them, whether it's physical. Like, he is the kind of person many, many years ago when I was a newer therapist, I might have really just like literally like got like dug in, like tried to just dig in as hard as I can. And then he'd probably say, oh, could you go a little deeper? Those people do that. They're like, doesn't matter how deep you go, you could be putting your full body weight into your elbow, into their back. And they're like, it's not enough.
They don't feel a thing.
They don't feel that. And I knew I didn't do that because I know better, but I would have. And that's what they kind of want. They just need it. They need it in order to feel something. They need it in order to feel anything. So that was my hit on him. And I didn't like play into it on the physical level, but boy, did I feel it on the energetic level. And it's really emotional. It's not so much about physical, right?
Right.
And it manifests in the physical body.
Right.
It's almost like a passive aggressive. They're a little passive aggressive. They're like, saying something bad, but they're smiling and
right. Yeah.
Very mad. They're like, oh my God. It's very confusing.
Yes. Be direct.
Yeah, just please take your mask. It's okay if you're sad, upset, you don't confused. It's all good. I'm good with all of those things, but that thing is really hard for me.
Yes. Right. The more unconscious something is, the more the shadow and the reaction, the essence that's emanated from it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
And Carla, you're a therapist?
I am. Yes. I am a psychologist. So we talk about the transference and countertransference and then working in that space of what is there's always it always is acted out in some way when you get to that depth and in dealing with that space. And not everyone can tolerate it, and then there's various reactions to it, and acting out behaviors and whatnot. So it's an intense place, and you feel that you've been smacked sometimes at the end, or that you're exhausted, or the various experiences that you can have
because you take
with
on
that intensity.
You take on the client.
It fills the room.
Because it's all very unconscious, right?
So it's just all over the place.
Reminds me of my marriage.
It reminds you of your marriage.
All this sort of unconscious stuff that isn't really getting dealt with. And it's like
if I knew then what I know now.
So that kind of characterological stuff is probably interesting to you as a therapist too.
Yes, definitely.
And honestly, if I was whatever, I'm not that type of therapist, and I couldn't deal with it. I was just like, nope, bye-bye. You would never want to see you. It just was too, because also it's very intimate.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's
right.
way too
The
personal.
touching.
This naked body, you know, and
Mhm.
I'm like, oh God, this is way too, you know.
Yeah.
What
Mhm.
really affected me because I keep even enjoy, until I'm gonna have to do some ritual or something because like,
Okay.
woof,
Yeah, that's intense.
yeah, and I don't really usually get like that, honestly. I really don't. I'm
Mhm.
usually pretty good at protecting myself or just being able to be compassionate.
Mhm.
Like, oh my God, this person's so annoying, but I can usually find like some kind of heart for what they're going through or
Mhm.
how it's manifested in their body. But this guy was just, I couldn't.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
I was a therapist, I would have to hand him off to somebody. I don't think I could deal with
Mhm.
that type of thing. It's probably because
Wow.
I think I might have a little of it in myself. You know,
Okay.
we all have all of those
Aspects.
right?
That's
We all
why
have,
you're saying transference.
yeah. So it's like, oh, it's way too much of a reflection. So it's very, very much more. I mean, obviously, you can see I'm very expressive. So it's not like I'm a person who you don't know how I feel. It's quite the opposite usually.
Well, that's why in my projection, it's actually really good that I'm walking through a body of water because
Mhm.
I'm in touch with my emotions and the
Mhm.
turbulence that's in my life. Even though I have to get this tool to the end, I guess because I have to dig
Survive.
deeper. I don't know exactly, but I can see that as reassuring that
Mhm.
I definitely have my emotions,
Mm.
even if this person is
Yeah.
closed off from his.
Well, that's interesting that you say that because and makes me think of like so yes, really good for me to remember that I do have I am absolutely in touch with my how I feel, but that there is a way in which I think I could dig deeper if I want to make changes in some way in my life, that I might have to dig deeper.
Yes.
And maybe
Okay.
deeper into the water, you know, maybe that's why I'm in the water with a shovel is that I need to
Mm.
dig deeper into the
Do you need to immerse?
maybe I need to immerse and not be afraid. Maybe it's like I'm afraid in the dream. I'm a little panicky, but
Yes.
maybe it's like, yeah, maybe I just need to kind of go under a little bit
Yes.
and
Okay.
just see, you know.
Maybe explore your anger in some way.
Mm, yeah, could be.
Oh, that again.
Well, yeah, that's such a tough one for I think for most women in general. It's like anger is so hard, but I get angry at stupid things, you know, like I get annoyed really easily, but it's like that's not real true like rage.
Right.
And I
And
think
that's exactly the word you said to describe this client, the rage.
totally, totally, yeah. Yeah, so it's like, what am I raging at? I mean, you know, it's easy when, you know, something crazy in the world happens, like what's happening, and it's so easy to get rageful about that. And to,
Mhm.
You're talking about the Supreme Court ruling?
yeah,
or
yeah,
Supreme-
specifically, but like, you know, pick your
Yeah,
incident of, you know, choice. But
crisis.
yeah, specifically about that, the loss of rights and all of that. That's just it's so
In the body, right?
and our bodies, yeah, our bodies, yeah.
Yes. So ladies, I just want to say, I just got a message from Zoom that we had 10 more minutes, but that
Oh.
was a couple minutes ago.
Okay.
So, but let's keep talking. And even when Zoom stops recording, we can stay on the phone.
Yes, and so I
Okay.
feel very satisfied and thank you so much. And I would love to. move
Thank
on.
you for sharing.
Thank you.
So
Thank
in
you
my dream,
for your
perhaps
insight.
my way to honor it would be to immerse in the water.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but
Or maybe I would bob. I would go down and up
Up
and
and
down and up.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Maybe float a little.
Yeah. Yeah. Go back and forth. Take a break. Allow myself the feeling. Come back up. That sounds good. That sounds
beautiful.
really
Thank you
meaningful.
so
Yeah.
much,
Thank you.
Alan.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say goodbye to our listeners, and and wish you sweet dreams, Kolamod Metukin. And now